Hey, what's going on, guys? Cheymix here, and today we're gonna do something a little bit different. Since I am so unlucky to the point where I am desperately looking at Twitch to see how good this game is, since I can't really get a full grasp on it. Because my initial plan when this game was, coming out, and reviews and everything, like gameplay and all that were coming out for it, I wanted to make a special video for Jump Force when I had my hands on it, because I knew there would potentially be a beta for it, because that's what all anime games nowadays do. And for Jump Force, I wanted to do a combat review. And now, since I don't actually have the game, I had to go look on Twitch to see who is the best person suited for, who uses the most skill out of all these people that are streaming Jump Force. And apparently, my good man Thundershot gave me the blessing to use his stream so I could be able to see and talk about all the things that I think are good about the game combat-wise, and some of the things that are not so good and are too lenient. From the blessing of my man Thundershot, God bless you, thank you. Look him up on Twitter and his streams on Twitch. He's very entertaining, one of the best people I've watched ever in Twitch, like straight white male and all that shit. But anyway, that's besides the point. Let's get into this. We have to talk about every single step, every single initial point, and every single thing that you can do in this game in terms of combat. This isn't going to be talking about the game as a whole. This is just going to be talking about if this game would be okay, like in the long run. I knew from the get-go that Shinobi Strikers wasn't going to win, last at all, because the combat was just too simple. The game modes were too whatever. So that's why I did not do this for it. But since this is going to be the first episode, so to speak, of this combat review for these anime games, I wanted, to talk about them a little bit more extra, since nobody else is doing that. But yeah, all right. So let's start it off with something simple. Now, you have your movement. Obviously, in every single game is very, very crucial. Obviously, you need to have your dashing, which is something that is very, very useful in this game. You have your forward dashes that doesn't exactly help in the way I think it would from a long distance. You have your dashes. Your dashes are just little scoots in the front where you go a little bit close to the person in front of you. You got your side steps where you sway back and forth, which are very, very essential, because these seem to have a tiny bit of invincibility frames inside of them. Like, I noticed Thundershot over here trying to dodge some attacks, and some of them are coming through. Either that or I'm just blind, but that's what I'm seeing. And this has been happening very frequent. Obviously, I can't show you every single example because I'm pulling this off of a 5 to 2 hour stream. So just take my word for it, and from what you see in this video, that sidestepping may have some invincibility frames to it, not really, probably 1 second or 1 nano of a second inside of it from the initial step. And then you got back steps, which are pretty useless, but there's something. You have your super dashes. Your super dashes, in my opinion, would be the most useful thing. But the bad thing about that is that you have to use your stamina bar, and your stamina bar is a little blue circle in the bottom over there. And it's not the thing about this game is that its UI is a little bit so you have to manage whatever you got, and you have to look at everything that you have and use them correctly. So now for the stamina, you use that for vanishing, you use that for blocking your guard breaks and all that. With your guard breaking, so if I was to block something and I got kicked with a heavy, which is like holding square or holding triangle, it would initiate a guard break, and in that brief period you cannot vanish, you cannot do anything. So that's why the meter is actually something that's very, very useful, and you have to actually really actually manage very, very correctly. And a good way of doing that is by having your correct timing in your assists and all that. Now, obviously, this is not something as complex as Guilty Gear, or not even as minimally complex as Dragon Ball FighterZ, but you have square and triangle combos. Both of these combos, both of these buttons are able for you to have a ability to mash them. It does not seem like you there's a listed combo list per se, but mainly just square button is how you punch, triangle is how you do heavies, and square is how you do lights. That's pretty much all I'm seeing, but I do believe you can mix it up a tiny bit. It would be a little bit weird if you couldn't, but I'm pretty sure that's an ability you can have. Correct me if I am wrong. Do remember, I do not have this. And if you can, tell me in the comment section of what you guys think about this combat review, and if you think I made it accurate, if you have played the beta. But so you have your square and triangles. As I said earlier in the video, I said you could hold down these buttons for you to initiate a hard attack, a heavy, which stuns your opponent. Which Thundershot, being the only person that was actually able to do this, big shout out to him. Where you hold down the triangle button during a combo and you get them in a stun state. If you perfect the timing, because there is just like Raging Blast 3, when you hold the square button good enough and you teleport forward a tiny bit and then punch your opponent, it's kind of like that. If you hold it correctly, because do remember this was made by Dims. If you do hold it correctly, you will initiate a grayish type of thing in the background. This is how you perform stage transitions. Once you hit your opponent and they're grayed out, you perform a square. You hold your square button and then you hit them. If you hold that one correctly as well, the same as the timing as the first triangle heavy attack, then you'll be able to initiate a screen transaction. A screen change, you know, kind of like Dragon Ball FighterZ, but instead you don't kill them, you just switch to the next screen. This doesn't really help with any form of combos because you only get something tiny, really small afterwards, but it is possible for you to like switch in between a combo pattern to make a little bit more of a type of damage per se. Obviously, another thing you have to really keep in mind is the timing in all of this. If you mash your square button, there's a good chance you'll hit them, but then you'd probably miss because every character is always going forward when they attack. Besides Yugi, because obviously he's not in this beta, but from what we've seen, that he doesn't move because he's not fighting, he's not punching, he's using stands like JoJo. But yeah, so you have to really take your time with all your attacks. Not everything could just be thrown out. You can't just throw a Kamehameha expecting to hit unless your opponent is doing something like summoning or an assist or whatnot. But you have to be very careful with all that. Just keeping that in mind. Assists are very crucial in this game. And I'm talking about crucial like the Dragon Ball FighterZ crucial. You can do some crazy stuff in this game with some assists. And Raikaga, or whatever their hell her name is. I'm sorry, I don't watch Bleach. That is just me. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, now, she has the ability to make a straight line of ice that if you were to be someone like Saint Seiya, which I'm getting from sources on Twitter, if I do remember the name of it, I will post it and show you in so if you do have like if you're Saint Seiya and you were to grab somebody per se, while she is doing her assist, it will stop time basically. So if you do super attacks, it does stop time. Mainly grab attacks is what I'm referring to. So like if you're Saint Seiya and you do the primary lotus into the ice, you do some interesting stuff. But yeah, it's very interesting how assists work. You can use Vegeta as a stunner, so you can block people in place, you know, that type of thing. Assists are it's very interesting. Like obviously this is just from the beta, but yeah, she may just be the best in this entire game. But obviously, like I said, it's a beta. Who knows? Vegeta might just be one of the best because he really locks down on characters. He's able to, like, while they're blocking, you could provide pressure on someone, which is another thing we should talk about regarding the assists. And that is that if you were to do too many combos, like after an assist or whatnot, then you get a flashing white. And that basically is from the old Jump Stars games, is basically a leave me alone. because this game does seem to be a casual type of game, but that's neither here or there. We will talk more about that in the next topic. Now, you have a lot of people that can transform in this game, apparently. Everybody has an awakening. Everybody has a burst limit state, where you essentially get more power or some different effects. It's not really clear on what they do. I'm pretty sure that it is told for each character, but we don't really know that. I'm pretty sure it's just a damage increaser. For Goku, he has Super Saiyan. For Vegeta, he has Super Saiyan. For Ichigo, he has this hollow form that was only seen in the manga. And I'm sure maybe there are some other people, maybe Frieza has his 100% form. We will possibly, I'm not sure if maybe they are different characters completely. If they are, that would be kind of a bummer. But we got Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, and we got Super Saiyan Blue Goku, and Super Saiyan and Golden Frieza, so that is something to actually keep in mind. It could be a different character, it could just be an amped version of an awakening to replace the Frieza and Goku awakenings, who knows? But it's interesting nonetheless, if I may say so myself. Now, we also have stuff like Gon. Gon has the ability in his ordinary attacks, which I'm very happy and very interested to see what actually comes from this. He has the ability to boost up his attacks and boost up his defense. When he boosts up his defense, he's able to do his Jonkan without being interrupted at all. Originally, if you do your Jonkan without using any of these amplifiers in defense, then you just get hit out of it automatically. I noticed this not in Thunderstream, but a couple of streams like Shofu and whatnot, that if you are using Jonkan and have that ability or whatnot on you, then you're basically invincible. And if you have your attributes boosted by the amplifiers of the physical attack of skill that Gon has, then you're able to freaking be a freaking powerhouse when you do your ultimate, which, by the way, Gon has some really good damage. Obviously, his arms are as stubby as Team Gohan, but it's still really nice to have him being as good as he is. Now, do I think that this game will actually have some type of casual and skilled gap? Well, obviously, because not everybody's going to use stashes, not everybody's going to backstep, not everyone's going to freaking block. But something I do realize is that this game is very casual friendly. If you get to combo too much, then it's over. Like, you get a white, you become all white, and you're invulnerable for a tiny bit, and then they're like, okay, that's enough. You get a turn. You get a turn to play, okay? Okay, baby. You can't do infinites. Your combos are pretty limited. If you block, you could just block forever unless you actually make a stamina break or a guard break, as it should be called. Now, obviously, it's not 100% whether or not you'd actually be able to do this, because, I mean, who's just gonna let you? They're gonna see you doing a guard break, so they could just switch to their ordinary hits, and it'll be like whatever. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how this game turns out. Obviously, I'm very excited for it. I don't know how this game will actually turn out to be. I'm really, really hoping that this game will actually turn out to be something that is very, very skilled and competitive. Obviously, it ain't going to Evo. Like, my guy, if you think this game going to Evo, then you sleep. I mean, that's just me. I mean, I'm sorry. It's just not gonna happen. Like, Evo, like this anime, no. Like, Dragon Ball even got there by God's grace. Like, you're not getting anything weeb anymore. Like, I'm sorry, unless it's made by Arc System, that's it. Which, oh my God, if they make an Arc System game, that'd be awesome. Anyway, that's neither here or there. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that this game deserves something higher than what I'm about to give it? Or if not, then okay. Now, what is the final verdict for this combat? I would give it a 7 for okay. Now, why do I give it a 7? I give it a 7 because it is very, very, very interesting. Like, there's a lot to do inside of it. There's a lot of interesting things to do. You could do a lot of combos. You could do whatnot. You could extend combos with your assist by switching out, which is nice. But you are very, very limited because of it being so casually friendly and holding your hand every step of the way, which is what J-Stars had, which It's alright. I mean, there is a lot of damage you can do in this game. There's some stuff some people found online that could take out your entire health, so maybe it was warranted. I mean, we just have to keep finding out. But yeah, that's it for me. Cheymix, what did you guys think of this review? Do you guys agree with what I gave it or not? That's okay. Of course, like I said before, go check out my man Thundershot, the man that actually provided me with this video. Otherwise, I'd be here sad and mopey without him. And thank God for Twitch, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, go look him up on Twitch. And if you can, look me up on Twitch, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's it for me. Cheymix out. Subscribe, like, share, and yeah, ring that bell if you can. And I'll see you guys later. Peace, love, humble.